Hi, I'm Jason French, chef and owner of Ned Ludd and Elder Hall here in Portland, Oregon.
I'm Kelly Cox, host of the TV show The Original Fare, and we are here for our final curation episode of this season.
In curation, we take two amazing artists and put them together for a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
In this episode, we're hanging out with Flat Pickin' Billy Strings and two very wily Portland chefs, Tommy Habetz and Dougie Adams.
Also fortuitous, we started the season in the Cully neighborhood, and we are wrapping up this first season in the Cully neighborhood.
That's right. Look how that worked. Well, I think we have to go and find the chefs. Rumor has it they're at Tommy's Pizza Jerk, so let's go see if we can track them down. I think they're even here.
Am I walking too fast? Look at this. It's like an old-timey pizza parlor in here. Dougie!
Boyd.
Think those guys will find that note?
Kitchen's all ours. Would you feel like a salad?
Grab a beer and come out back.
Grab a beer and come out back. I think we can do that.
I hope Jason is wearing some sweet pants.
Well, I hope he's wearing those patch pants.
It's beer. So let's make this happen, Captain.
Oh, Dougie.
Well, well, well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here they are.
Yeah.
What's up?
Gentlemen.
What's up, bud?
How are you?
Hey.
Good to see you.
How are you?
See you, man.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. I love any hangout that starts with grab beers and meet us on the porch.
Yeah, it's true.
It's interesting too, this pairing, like fine dining is your background.
Yes.
New York City fine dining, to be specific. And then, you brought a lot of that sentiment out to Portland with you when you arrived. And then let's just talk a little bit about that history and what brought you here and how your food's kind of shifted since you got here.
Yeah, I mean, I came to Portland originally into this neighborhood where Pizza Jerk is as a volunteer for Habitat for Humanity in 1994. What? Yeah, that's how I first came to Portland. And so I moved back to the East Coast and cooked in New York for some great chefs, but I always wanted to come back to Portland, so I came back here in 2002. And right around then is when Jason and I met each other working for Ripe. And I had that training in New York, but I loved and I missed and I remembered all the quality, like incredible quality ingredients and product and everything that we had here in Portland. It's just such an amazing place to be able to live and work.
You also kind of have the same background trajectory, which is finer dining, and now you're moving into something else.
I came out here from Montana in about 2007.
How big was your town?
When I was there, like 890 people. And
200, baby.
I was
small town folks.
Extremely popular because of my athletic prowess in high school. So,
do you guys feel that like sometimes in chefing, it's going through the whole arc of learning and trying to master the craft, and
then basically coming back home,
and coming back to what's like essential to who you are and kind of what makes you tick?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we were just saying this. I think this is the goal as the chef is to present the most authentic vision of yourself that you can to the through your food.
in its most simple form, we just want to make tasty food.
Yeah.
So there's a million different ways to go about that, and there's a million different ways to get inspired about that. But at the end of the day, I mean, the main goal is to put something on a plate that someone's gonna really enjoy,
yeah,
and hopefully pay for it.
And absolutely, if you're coming at it from a place of love, and if you're doing the food that interests you and that captivates you, then it's going to come across. We gravitate towards the food that we love, and we try to cook that kind of food,
And that's why I personally always jump at an opportunity to cook with someone else, because you're gonna see it from someone else's perspective. So when we're talking about Pickathon, it's like Tommy has this amazing growing up, with barbecue and dry rubs and stuff. Tommy has this amazing rub that we're putting on the lamb that I would have never, ever thought of. It's anchovy and chili and all those herbs. So you know, it's always good to cook with other people whenever you can. I'm sure, like, where Billy likes to get in those picking circles and, like, see how somebody else plays Wildwood Flower. And, you know, you get these, like, little glimpses into someone's kind of psyche and creative process that you learn a lot from.
That's another thing. Both music and cooking, you're instantly gratified.
Oh, absolutely.
It is instant
Or
gratification.
devastated.
Yeah, we're devastated. Yeah.
Answer here inside of myself. I got the power here inside of myself. I got the power here inside of myself. Come feel the power.
I got out of fine dining mainly because I was working at places that my friends and everybody, you know, people couldn't really go to on a regular basis because they couldn't afford it. And so, I mean, when the idea of doing punk in the first place was to have a place where we were able to use all the techniques that we had learned in fine dining, but do it through the vehicle sandwiches, you know.
I think fine dining is just such a silly term.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a term.
I feel
mean,
like when you look at, like, the best, like, food in the world right now, I think it's just kind of moving towards more of an easier, focus more about the food and the white tablecloths and all that.
I got the power here inside of myself. I got the power here inside of myself. I got the power here inside of myself. Come feel the power.
What are you guys thinking for the menu?
I think we're gonna do a lamb barbecue, man.
Yeah.
So we got some, we're gonna get some lamb bellies and some lamb ribs, and then we found out there's gonna be a pizza oven out there, and it just so happens that we got the guy.
So wait, so pizza on the menu, or?
We do some lamb ribs, some lamb belly, and some flatbreads, yeah.
Some pizza, yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it's going to be really interesting having you guys paired up with Billy Strings for the Curation Series. He's got some deep-rooted home
Totally.
ties and stories going on.
And what we're talking about, you know, it's like bluegrass is such an old school thing to have a guy like Billy Strings to play those old songs the way he does it. It's like totally different.
It's different, yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, yeah.
Next, we look to Nashville, Tennessee to catch up with the incredibly talented Billy Strings.
Let's go check in with him and hear about some of his influences and his special take on bluegrass music.
I started playing when I was about 3 years old. My dad is a great musician, and he, you know, at first he got me this little plastic guitar that was like a little battery-powered thing, and he gave me a pick, and I would kind of play on that. And then when I was about 4, he got me a real guitar with strings on it. And then, you know, by the time I was 6 and 7, I could play some songs backing him up. He's a great flat picker. He would play at parties, you know. My parents had a lot of friends and social gatherings and drinking and smoking and hanging out and playing music all night. You know, that was a normal kind of thing. And my dad would, he'd be playing and kind of like leading the party, you know, leading the jam, and everybody's standing around singing along to all these good songs and having all this joy. And I noticed, like, when I was a little kid, that my dad was somewhat responsible for that joy that everybody was having at these gatherings. And I was like, I want to do that. You know, if you're singing some song about somebody sitting in prison or some old, you know, hillbilly, homeless hobo on the side of the railroad track somewhere, you got to put yourself in his shoes and mean it, you know. If you're singing a song about love, pretend, you know, remember what it feels like to be betrayed or whatever, and put yourself back in that mood while you're singing that song. And I learned that from my dad. I can't write a song about a truck. You know, I can't write a song about some bullshit trying to make a song that I think people are gonna like. That's not real. My songwriting process usually looks like me walking around the house here. I have to be alone. You know, like totally alone. Because I'm like really vulnerable, like walking around singing shit that's not real. Just like rah, 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 like making up words and stuff to try to get melodies or whatever. And if somebody was hearing that, it would be like, oh, I wouldn't be able to do it. You know what I mean? Because I'd be like, oh, they're listening to me. I learned how to play music by learning how to play bluegrass. But I was playing bluegrass around the campfire and in my bedroom with my dad and at home and stuff. I didn't play very many gigs. When I started straying away from bluegrass and like playing metal and stuff, that's when I started performing. And we were just thrashing all over the stage and, you know, spitting and kicking each other and just like, I cut my teeth playing music on bluegrass and I cut my teeth performing in a metal band. So when I go out on stage and play bluegrass now, I still have this tendency to like want to thrash, you know? Because that's like how I perform, I guess. That's how I like give energy to the audience. I learned how to do that when I first started performing, which was in a metal band. When I hear like Slayer or like Rain and Blood or some really fast, energetic song, I almost get the same feeling when I hear Train 45 or Foggy Mountain Breakdown or like some really freaking rockin' Earl Scruggs banjo. It's like fast and speedy, man, and it's like it's awesome. I never thought I'd be able to make a living playing music or anything like that. You know, it was just like, and then, you know, you get along and start playing here and there and you meet so-and-so and you grow up and you realize, wow, this pond really ain't that big. I could swim to the other side. There's been so many times where I call my dad, Dad, you're never gonna believe this. Like, we're playing at the Ryman. Dad, Seldom Seen asked me to sit in with them. Dad, I'm going to play gigs with David Grisman. Dad, you know, it's like, you know, and he's up in Michigan going, holy shit, son, you're doing it. I don't think we're ever gonna be some band that sells 1 million records, and I really don't want to be. I'd sell 1 million tickets, though, one little show at a time.
Pickathon. I am Kelly. I'm here with some very dear old friends and new best friends. Billy Strings, down there, fellow cat lover. Doug Adams, we go way back. Did you and Doug and Tommy talk about what to cook tonight? Do y'all even know each other? Have you met?
We go way back.
We go way back.
Yeah, we talked it up. We found out Billy likes lamb, so we're doing a little lamb barbecue. I'm cooking with the man, the myth, the legend. It's an honor to cook with Tommy, and a lot of people will come through his kitchens. And we got lamb ribs, we slow roasted, and lamb belly, we slow roasted. We're gonna roll those on a grill. Tommy brought a bunch of great dough to do some flatbreads, and we got a ton of different toppings. I think our mindset was just go to the farmer's market and get as much good shit as we could.
Doug and I on yesterday, went to the farmer's market together.
Oh, did you guys take a basket?
We held hands with little baskets. Yes.
We had some soft serve
brought our
ice cream
dogs.
cones.
We brought our dogs, even though that's against the rules because we're rebels.
You did it anyways, damn it.
And I think that's kind of a great way to sum up how we roll in Portland. It's like you just have all these great ingredients and you get it to the dogs. And then you put it on the plate.
You said, Doug, that you heard that Billy liked lamb.
I wanted to be walking out
in Canada,
on stage, behind me, backdrop, horse spinning slowly, fire.
I've been very much looking forward to hearing
we've been really looking forward
pick
to
that
this.
guitar, that fiddle.
Hey, hi, hello, happy Sunday. We've made it. It's the end of Pickathon. We've done it. What a beautiful, lovely weekend, and you guys are about to get very well fed and hear some great music. My name is Kelly Cox. Billy, you wanna do something?
Sure.
Okay. Billy, strings.
Hey, Billy.
Hello, everybody. Seeing here. We sure are enjoying the food, ain't we?
Yes. All right.
I'm heartbroken and I'm feeling low down. I'm sick and tired of the life I live around this old town. And I'm getting tired of crying over you. So honey, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm taking that slow train for a long ride. I'm gonna stay a long time. Losing old love, starting new life. I'm taking that slow train, leaving tonight.
This is it, Billy, right? This is the last show of your tour tonight, right now.
Well, you know, I can say that, but I'm just home for a few days. It's always a constant. It's not like, you know, I get like a month off now or anything. It's like I'm home for like, I gotta make it home first, and I got like a week off. So I gotta make it home as soon as I can, so I can hopefully have like 5 days at home before going back out for a couple weeks.
Maybe you got pictures of your cats.
We're gonna have cat photos.
I want to check out.
We're gonna do cat photo time. All right, we're gonna do cat photo time, and then Billy's gonna play.
We're gonna eat lamb ribs.
Boys are gonna cook. Boys are gonna cook.
Taking that slow train, leaving tonight. I'm taking that slow train, leaving tonight. That's it. That's all, right? All right. just as blue as the deep blue sea. Just as blue as the deep blue sea.
Oh, Dougie.
Delicious.
Think those guys will find that note?
I do.
They're smart. They're resourceful.
I hope Jason is wearing some sweet pants.
Well, I hope he's wearing those patch pants.
Love those patch
Love
pants.
those patch pants. You look so good in those pants.
Cut.